much. I want to go back to those live pictures right now. We've been following protests at Arden Fair Mall. What started out as a peaceful protest has now turned into a situation where they are blocking traffic and arrests are being made.
Yeah, this is the main entrance right off Arden Way there as you pull into the front of Arden Fair Mall, and that's right next to the BJ's. We're told now that arrests are being made. Protesters apparently were told to disperse. This is creating what is obviously a traffic backup for people trying to get into and leave the mall. We have seen no less than 5 police officers mounted on horses as they try to control the protesters and move them to an area that's not affected by traffic. But that was not successful, and now the alternative is starting to happen. We saw a large police van showing up, and police are now making arrests. As you can see, some protesters with placards and also a large flag that are being waved right in the middle of where you should be pulling into the main entrance of Arden Fair Mall.
Shara Kina-Shams is live now on the ground. Shara, what are you seeing from where you are?
Yeah, guys, we're live here just outside the main entrance of Arden Fair Mall, and I want you to just take a look at this intersection, which right now, at least from this vantage point at the main entrance, is looking clear, but that's only because of the video that you've been showing, the police activity over the last few minutes. Protesters were a little while ago blocking traffic in the intersection, and I'm talking about most recently in that main driveway that all of these drivers turn onto to get onto mall property. So then traffic became completely backed up onto the street because those drivers were unable to make that turn onto mall property. Now, those arrests came after police issued several warnings out here. They several times told protesters that they were demanding protesters disperse, and that if they didn't disperse, that they would be arrested. That was, by the way, at least the second time today that we've seen traffic blocked out here. Earlier, it was blocked on Arden Way by protesters who were in the crosswalk. It initially began this afternoon close to 3 p.m. when protesters were peacefully making their way with their signs across that crosswalk from one end of Heritage and Arden to the other, but then they began to stop in the intersection altogether. They were warned, and then, as I've told you, they were warned a second time, and the second time on mall property is when those arrests started to be made. So shoppers are definitely impacted at this hour because some of the entrances that the protesters were closest to, the main entrances of the mall, one near Macy's and 2 different entrances at the front, were blocked. They were locked. Mall security locked those so that they could keep protesters out. And what did that mean for shoppers? It meant that they too could not get out. They had to go, in some cases, all the way around the mall to, get back to their vehicles and so on and so forth. A protest that started quite peacefully with about 50 to 60 people, as I've said, after about 3 o'clock this afternoon, has turned into quite a situation out here with traffic impacted, Black Friday shopping impacted, and protesters were clear this is what they wanted to accomplish. They apparently have accomplished it, at least in part. They did plan this out quite extensively and had let Sacramento police know that they were intending on having this protest out here today and that it would wrap up by about 6 p.m. But here we are at almost 6:20, and it's ending in arrests. Guys, back to you.
Cheryl, you've been on the ground there, so you've been real close at one point. As we look at these live pictures, we're not able to hear really what's going on. Are you hearing kind of what they're saying, what they're chanting? Were you able to talk to any of them earlier?
Yeah, all of their chants are connected, Kelly, to Ferguson. Their protest is entirely in reaction to the lack of an indictment against that Ferguson police officer in the shooting death of Michael Brown. So many times they've said that that's why they're out here. And in fact, they've said that they intended to shut this place down. So I'm eliminating some expletives that they used in their chanting there, but they said that their intent was to shut this place down. And as I've said, they've twice blocked traffic, and while they didn't succeed, as far as we know, into getting into the mall to shut anything down inside Arden Fair Mall, certainly with those entrances and exits blocked, as I've told you, they did manage to accomplish some impact today for shoppers.
Yeah, they sure did, Charo. Some very interesting pictures there on this Black Friday, as some people are denied access to the mall there because of this protest that is going on. And we got some glimmer of these protests that could be happening after the announcement was made that the grand jury had decided not to move ahead with any charges against that officer, Darren Wilson, in the shooting death of Michael Brown back in August. On social media, it started popping up, talking about people who wanted to do something on Black Friday with these kinds of protests. The same happened at a mall in St. Louis earlier today, where protesters actually went inside the mall and were met with no resistance. They said their piece and then left. And now we see this happening here in Sacramento with people who feel strongly about the grand jury's decision.
We talked a little bit earlier to Steve Reed. He's head of security there at Arden Fair Mall, and he said, look, they have a right to protest. We just want to make sure that they're staying peaceful, that they're not affecting people who are going in and out of the mall. He said they were really loud. Some shoppers not so happy, but that people were still going in and out. Obviously, this is not the only entrance to the mall, but as you can imagine, at about 6:20, 6:30 on a Friday night, this really gets clogged up as you come in and out of Arden Way, and then it starts to affect the rest of 80 right there as well.
6:30 on Black Friday, you can bet it is busy at that mall, and it's even made more busier now by what you see there. We'll continue to follow this protest as it continues to unfold. Arrests being made